Okay. Hi, everybody. Can you hear me? Okay. Okay, I want you guys to just move in just a little bit. You can come in closer. All right, everybody got their white shirts on? Okay. All right. So welcome to everybody. I'm Mr. Yates. This is a big day for the school. I want to thank everybody for being here. Thank our Board of Trustees. I want to first make a request of all of you. So you have your white shirts on. We have a drone camera over here, and I want everybody to just turn this way. Smile for the camera. Okay, I want to kick things off and introduce Mr. Colin Mann, our Director of Choirs, and our teller, yes, and the teller chorus for a singing of the Alma Mater.
Hail to Williston, Northampton, in the valley we call home. Sunrise over mountain ledges, in our sight everywhere we roam. Alma mater, guide our hearts, O Williston. One man's dream for old East Hampton, in the mills and on the land. Samuel's strength and daring vision, Emily's care and steady hand. Alma mater, guide our dreams, O Williston. Once a gem in old Northampton, memories near proud college walls. Sarah's love and Dorothy's wisdom, joyful bell summons one and all. Alma mater, guide our minds, O Williston. Hail to Williston, Northampton, elm trees watchful gaze is true. Brave and honest souls are gathered, always proud of the green and blue. Alma mater, guide our lives, O Williston.
Thank you, Mr. Mann. Thank you, Teller Chorus. That was an awesome rendition. Welcome, everyone. I love the whiteout. It's perfectly appropriate given the name of this building. And this is an historic day. You know, students, you're here for 3, 4, 2 years, but those faculty and staff who are here who've been part of the school for 10, 15, 20, 30 years realize just what an important event is taking place today as we dedicate this building, this residential quad, and look towards completing the residential quad when we build our Brewster dorm next. I want to welcome the trustees. I want to welcome honored guests. A lot of people are here today to enjoy this moment. And I want to just share a few remarks about the name of this building. What's in a name? That's a concept that you all studied in Romeo and Juliet. But there's a lot that goes into the naming of a building. And so let me tell you just a little bit about John Hazen White Jr., Williston class of 1976, our current chairman of the Board of Trustees. And many of you know Mr. White already since he's around quite a bit, and he's not really that shy. Class of 2019, where are you? Kind of all over the place, 2019? There you go, beautiful. Mr. White's gonna be handing you your diplomas in May. What you don't know about Mr. White is that when he was a junior boarding student back in the day, he really wanted to go to Williston. But when he went to his placement counselor said, you know, you don't really have the grades, you don't really have the scores, you're not getting into Williston. Young, ambitious, daring, bold, and I'm guessing just a little bit cocky, the 1973 ninth grade Mr. White got on a bus and headed to Williston, where he met with the director of admissions, Mr. Tom Evans, and literally, quite literally, talked his way into Williston. He said to Mr. Evans, and I'm quoting, "If you let me in, I promise you I will give everything to Williston. I will graduate from Williston, and I will give back to Williston for the rest of my life." I know this is a true story, because Mr. Evans recently wrote me an email and recounted those exact same words. John Hazen White is a successful businessman whose company Taco Comfort Solutions has supplied many of the mechanical elements of this building as well as many of the other buildings on campus. He is a tireless cheerleader for Williston, who sits on other boards like the Brookings Institute in DC and who supports many nonprofits in his home state of Rhode Island. The Board of Trustees voted to name our newest dormitory after John Hazen White Jr. for his generosity to Williston, both explicitly for this project, but also for his lifetime of financial support. Thank you, Mr. White. A much-deserved and heartfelt thank you is due to Williston's entire Board of Trustees gathered here today, to the 24 men and women comprising our board for their unwavering support, dedication to this vision unfolding here today, and to their financial leadership to make this happen. Among our incredibly supportive Board of Trustees, I want to recognize two more members in particular whose generosity was game-changing for Williston as they joined with Mr. White. Mr. Kevin Hoban, longtime Vice Chair of the Board, Williston class of 1965, All-American swimmer and unwavering supporter of Williston, and Mr. Stuart Reed, class of 1966, whose 8 years of service on the board has been marked by engagement, generosity of time, wisdom, and philanthropic support, and who carries on the family name begun by his father, for whom the Reed Center is named. Mr. Hoban, Mr. Reed, and Mr. White, incidentally, share more than just an alma mater. Their lives as business leaders overlap and are intertwined. Indeed, their companies, Taco, Omegaflex, and Mestec, have offered tremendous mechanical and in-kind support over the years to Williston as we become much more energy efficient. Board members do more than come to campus 3 times a year. And you would not be surprised to learn that the Facilities Committee of the Board, co-chaired by Mr. Jim Brennan, class of 1985, and Mr. Rich Monopoli, class of 1989, invested many hours of time to carry this project forward. So thank you to them as well, gentlemen. My last group of thanks goes to our own Jeff Tannen, Willister's Director of Projects and Planning, for his enormous efforts in being the liaison between the school, the architects, and the construction company. Mr. Tannen, along with Mr. Chuck McCullough, our Chief Financial Officer, have devoted countless hours to bring the school to this point today. Don't forget, it was not just this dorm that happened over the summer. All of the construction activity on campus this summer was overseen by Messrs. McCullough and Tannen. So thank you, gentlemen. Finally, I want to recognize our architect, David Croteau of Flansburgh Architects, for the vision that he brought today to fruition. 194 Main Street, you might notice, is a similar building, and he actually designed and built that one as well. So Mr. Croteau is here today, and a shout out to him. I will now ask Mr. White to come forward and share a few remarks.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's great to be here and to share this time. There's so many special people here, and what a great honor for me to share this moment. There's also here with me my wife, Liz, and my oldest son, John. One of my closest associates in my lifetime, Mr. Robert E. Lee. Some of my own board of directors, as well as my sister Peggy, my very best friend, and I must say has shared this ride in life with me for so many years. It's great to have you. It's great to be able to share this time with you because, you know, well, Bobby told you the story. I suppose I should call him Mr. Hill, right? Anyway, Bobby told you the story that when I decided I wanted to come here, I pulled up, you know, with my mother and father in front of the homestead, and I got out of the car. I was supposed to go to another school. I was already enrolled in another school. And, we came up to visit because Stuart Reed's dad was deeply involved here and wanted us to look. So up we came, which is not what I wanted to do. So I was excited to move on to the other place. But and you'll find this in your life sometime, when I stepped out from the car, my feet were on the ground, and I looked at Mount Tom, something inside of me said, I need to go here. And so Bobby's right. I never should have been admitted. So I talked my way in. I came and spent some time and convinced Tom Evans, who Bob mentioned, that I would be able to survive here. I think anybody that comes here can survive here. And I think anybody that comes here will come out of here a much better, stronger person, because that's what this place does, as we all know. So I sat in his office and I told him this. I said, I need to come here. I must come to Williston. And I will survive here. I will make it through here. And I will contribute to the best of my ability as a part of this community. And I did the best I could with tremendous help. I look around, Bob Couch is here. My gosh, he was my dorm parent for 2 years. We don't talk about those times so much, do we? The statute of limitations is running out, he said, but those were some years, I will tell you. And, Al Shaler and Ray Brown, and Rick Francis, these people are still around sometimes, and the impact that they've had on my life, was, at the time I was here, was profound. And as I look back, I did make it through here. Not as a stellar student, I never was, and never hoped to be, but I certainly had a great time in the process. Did a lot of things that, we all probably would say at some point in our lives we shouldn't, but we all had fun, and we survived, and we cared for one another as this crowd does. I told Tom Evans I would then leave here and do whatever I did in college, but I promised him that day that I would give back to this school any way I could for the rest of my life. And I've chosen to do that. And it's not about money, it's about time, it's about energy, but most of all, it's about love. It's about love. I love this school with all my heart and soul, as I do my family and my company. These are 3 things in my life that are so vitally important. And so to stand here now in front of this building, it's more than a dream. It's a wonderful dream. And it allows for some people to have a wonderful place to live. But as I look at the building and I think about being a part of this, with this group of trustees who are tireless and entirely devoted to all of you and to this place, and have supported me in all I've tried to do. As I stand here and look, it's not just about what we've been able to give the school, but for me personally, this moment is about what this school has given me, which is my life, who I am, and what I've done. Any success I've had, any fun I've had, it's all because of what started right here. Something I'll never forget. So to have this moment is a moment, and I want you to think. All of us right here, right now, all of us are sharing the most special moment in my life. Thank you very much.
On the count of 3, okay? Wait, ready? 1, 2, 3. All right. Now I'd like to invite the Teller Chorus back for one more song. And I think you all can help. Take it away.
Sammy, my heart yearns for thee, yearns for your campus and your old elm tree. Long may we cherish in years yet to come. Long may we cherish Williston.
Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy your sports and afternoon programs. Thank you.